matter of
exactly, conjecture.
Yeah, so
Yes, that's for sure.
that how things will evolve.
But
don't
one
know.
one thing is certain: gold will be a part of the whole system.
Yes.
So you are always safer to invest in gold than in any other cryptocurrency at this juncture.
Yes.
Because you
yes.
have not identified which cryptocurrency is going to gain acceptance across the globe.
Exactly. So the way I like when I make my investment decisions, the way I analyze is that Walmart used to be the biggest retailer. Amazon replaced Walmart after 20 years in terms of market cap and revenue after 16 years. So somewhere around 2016, 2017. So that was from physical to digital transition. So something similar might happen. So gold market cap is $10 trillion. Bitcoin market cap is $1 trillion. So it might take another 20 years to match up to that, or it might take lesser than that. And yeah, it will be combination of all this open source. It could be Bitcoin, it could be Ethereum, it could be other things as well.
On this note, Mr. Akib Sheikh, he was asking, what is your opinion on various governments looking to issue their own cryptocurrencies? Since if government issues it, then we are talking about it being backed by whatever security. So maybe his question also would be answered: what if all the governments in all the countries enter into this cryptocurrency market, and would it be more trustworthy?
They have to be correlated for the global trade. How are you going to correlate them?
That's what, maybe this type of
That's the
exchange
issue.
platforms, I don't know.
So what governments are talking about is CBDC, central bank issued digital currency. Now CBDCs are like first you bypass the traditional banks and you open directly bank account with the central bank. You bypass HDFC, ICICI, SBI, and you directly have a bank account with RBI or other central banks. RBI has been innovative in this sense. All of us know SGB bonds, sovereign gold bonds. So that is actually our direct, any retailer buying that is a direct account with an RBI. So RBI, no other central bank has done this as far as I know. Most central banks only deal with institutions. They don't deal with the retailers or the individuals. So this is where the CBDC comes in, where individuals can have a direct account with the central bank. That will compete directly with the existing institutions or existing banks. Second, CBDC are also a tool for foreign policy. Let's say Chinese yuan or those things can be easily enabled on internet. So right now people are already using dollar stable coins. So same way CBDC could be if the Chinese yuan or those things come up, and if enough people get trust in those assets or those currencies, people can use those CBDCs. Even for India, we have been long. Indian rupee has been long a currency for countries like Nepal and even Bhutan. So yes, Indian CBDC could be a part of the foreign policy and can help increase the adoption or extension of Indian rupee globally. And even NRIs there are discussions that NRIs can also start using CBDCs. So something which I have seen in Philippines, where Chinese use WeChat and they have their yuan wallet integrated in it. So there are all these merchants, let's say McDonald's, or they have a QR code for WeChat, where let's say a Chinese tourist can scan the QR code. So a person, the McDonald's in Philippines will get a peso, while the Chinese tourist will pay it in yuan. So something similar can be easily done with CBDC. And yeah.
I have one more question here. He's asking about, Mr. Abdul, he's asking about, does it lead to inflation? Because you also spoke of scarcity in this.
Yes, CBDCs will be more inflationary than what the current. I mean, this is my estimate. I'm not how central banks will use it. We don't know. But some of the use cases are that CBDCs can come with an expiry date. This is what China is also doing. So they will issue CBDC with an expiry date. So let's say it will programmable money. It can expire in 5 years. So if your money is expiring in 5 years, it's by default an inflation of 20%. So yeah, I mean other possible use cases are, it can be used for like asking citizens to attend certain programs or to invest in certain vehicle. Like Russia has done something similar. They give this digital currency to the citizens and ask them to spend on some cultural programs and those things. So it's how innovative the government and central banks become and how they want to divert the savings of the citizens. That's how it will. That's what will matter.
I'll take just
Normally-
one more last question from the online. You spoke only positive things about crypto, I believe. So Mr. Virendra Acharya is complaining, saying that there are no negatives. It has nothing backing up, and it is, security-wise, there are lots of issues. And why don't you touch upon a couple of negatives also about
So
cryptocurrencies?
negatives, I would say it's a field where people have benefited, but they have not spent enough time and resources on educating other people on understanding of this, and because of that, there are a lot of scams in the industry. There are like outright MLM schemes to even like hacking and all those things which are happening in the industry. And I have heard people being like told that okay, this is the next Bitcoin, and this is the like it could be named as an Ethereum Meta, while looks a combination of Ethereum and the Metaverse, which was the Facebook new name, and people will buy into those coins and then lose money. Same happened with the recent Squid coin, which was a very popular Netflix this thing series, and people bought into it and they lost money in it. And yeah, so that's the biggest negative.
So as a final question from my side, as a layman who wants to enter, you had told about there are so many options that are available, and where do I start?
So
If I want to look at genuine cryptocurrency, how does it happen?
So first thing, what I did personally and the way I learned was, first I only invested, let's say 500 rupees, and then I understood the whole ecosystem, the way crypto assets are completely different from the traditional asset. Traditional assets, you have demat holders like CSTL and NSDL which will take care of it. If something goes wrong, you can call ICICI or SBI. Here there is no one to call. So first thing anyone should do is invest first 500 rupees, start the learning process, invest 5,000 rupees only when you can self-custody your Bitcoin. So let's say it's something similar to like my grandfather or grandmother will not tell me to invest money in 1 kg of gold if I can't take care of 1 gram of gold. So first one has to learn how to take care of 1 gram of gold from, let's say, being responsible, being able to handle it carefully, because it's similar. In gold, if you lose, there's no one to call for. If you are walking with a 1 kg of gold in a market, and if someone steals it, then you have no one else to blame than yourself. So same is with crypto. If you have a Bitcoin, let's say worth 20-30 lakhs on your mobile, and mobile is like a public market, you are always connected to your internet. So if someone hacks your mobile and steals that fund, there's no one to blame for. Same as with most of the people other than MLM scheme lose money is keeping their assets on the exchanges. So WazirX and all those exchanges are something similar to jewelers. So if we buy, let's say, 1 gram of gold, we are comfortable. Okay, jeweler is a known person, it's fine if it's in his vault. But if I buy, let's say, 1 kg of gold, I am not going to keep it with a jeweler. So if you buy a significant amount of crypto asset, the first thing one should learn is to do a self-custody. So until and unless you are not familiar with doing a self-custody, one should not go investing more than $1,000 or 50,000 rupees.
Thank you so
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just one question. I want to understand if there is any methodology for evaluating this particular asset of cryptocurrency. Because today, We are only talking about market prices.
Yeah.
Market prices have got absolutely no relation to the intrinsic
Yes.
value of any asset.
Exactly. So yes, there are a lot of models which have come up for the different crypto asset. So one or two models which are simple as one is for Bitcoin, as I said, is if you are aware about valuation, you know peer comparison, right? So this property on this road is valued, let's say 1 CR, 1 crore. Property next to it will be possibly valued at the same price or around the same valuation. So something similar can be applied. So if Bitcoin is going to be a digital replacement or competitor to gold, the gold market cap is $10 trillion. So